Do you think the Bills regret not doing more Josh Allen runs more this season?
I mean, it's always hindsight 2020. I say no because the mindset was they were going to run the ball more. The problem was they were more vanilla when they would call run plays, more exotic when they would call pass plays. So they spent all their time scheming up all this throwing stuff, which is great, and that's why the numbers are what they are and why they can win and do what they do. But when it's a game where you want to just be able to run the ball or slow it down once you get up, because they were up a lot, they would call the basic, look, let me just turn around, hand it off, turn around, hand it off. Kind of like the first half of the season for us when we're like, man, why are we calling such predictable plays? It was that type of vibe, but the difference was they could get out of it because it could be 2nd and 10, Josh Allen gonna make a play. It could be 3rd and 10, Josh gonna make a play. Whereas for us, early on, what were we dealing with? All right, we done ran it twice. Now we're gonna throw a screen, a slant, or something that's gonna be short of the sticks, and now we're pissed off about it. That was the big difference in terms of how we were running it versus how they were running it. But from there, it's just for Buffalo, you could just rely on Josh. So it wasn't ever like at the forefront of like, yo, we need to start running it more. Whereas for us, we said after the bye week, what? We got to run it. And we saw how we put that as like a priority for us. And that's why we were a lot more productive doing it.
I feel like that's such a threat.
It is,
it's
man.
Something
Absolutely.
that they really should have when playoff time comes around. But it's one of those things.
Yeah.
You go back and forth. You don't want to bang up Josh Allen during the regular season, but you also want to be prepared for when you need to run that play.
Yeah. But it's very different, those style of like plays, that style of offense. You think about,
I'm just thinking Cam Newton in the red zone, remember?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's kind of like the fine point, or that if you can get to that where you protect them between the 20s, but now in the red zone, now the running element becomes more alive, more active. Yeah, it makes great sense. But you got to be, disciplined enough to call it like that. And like I said, once again, the problem, even with that Cam Newton time, they could still run the ball. They still had legit running backs where they could turn around and say, hey, you know what, man, pick this up. And they were actually like scheming up plays. It wasn't, let me just try to run Jalen Warren in the A-gap. That's kind of the stuff that was going on in Buffalo early on and stuff like that. But that's also part of the reason why when they talked about Ken Dorsey, first year OC, that was his knock. That was the complaint about him. So now they got to see, can he evolve from that? When we talked about Matt Canada a year ago, right? It was like, man, it's a lot of jet sweep. It's a lot of, lateral. Can you evolve from it? We saw him start to evolve in the second half of the season. And now we feel a little bit better. We'll see, how it goes from there. But at least we feel some sense of confidence because we've seen the growth with him since he's taken over. For Buffalo now, they got to see, can he do that in terms of Ken Dorsey? You saw it with Brian Dable, but different level of player or different level of coaches right
now. Dable took all those rushing yards over to the Giants.
Absolutely.
Danny Dimes had 700 on the ground.
Yeah, because of how he gonna scheme it up. But he's actually calling like legit run plays. It's not like, man, let me just
nothing that got him banged up.
Right. But it's just a difference of if you're calling a play that is designed to pick up yardage versus let me just simply call a run because I need to call a run play. It's just different mindsets. And for Ken Dorsey, he got to learn that part. Matt Canada started to learn that. We're going to see, can he keep learning it? Otherwise, we're going to be over here saying similar things like, hey, bro, we about to go shopping. We need a new OC again.